Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? I've been told that I am too loud at the beginning of my videos, so I'm going to try to keep the volume down to a level at the same level. But I get excited about databases, and I hope you are too. We're on day 3 of our 66-day challenge. I know for some of you that it's already trying to get into the habit. We talked about the calls and the care calls in day 1 and day 2. We talked about setting up your workstation. If you're falling behind, you gotta catch up because you don't want to fall too far behind, right? We're day 3. We should have 11 people in our database by the end of today. All right, we should have made 11 phone calls. One of the things that I also need to remind everyone, excuse me, is that you need to subscribe and press the bell so that when we go live, you get these reminders and remind you to do your calls today and build your database. The other thing I want to remind you is to leave comments. Not only leave a comment for yourself, but if you see somebody else struggling, leave a comment. Talk to them. This is how we hold each other accountable. All right? Today, what I want to talk about is working both partners in the home. So husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, making sure that both people are a separate contact in your database. I'm going to give you an example. I am friends with Roberto and Steve, and I hang out with Roberto and Steve all the time, but my communication is always with Roberto. And then Steve shows up, right? Or tell Steve I said hi. Tell Steve this. Here's the problem. My relationship as far as like communication is just with Roberto. I need to make sure that I'm also reaching out to Steve. I've even had situations sometimes where I'm embarrassed to say, I've known someone for a long time, but I didn't have their phone number. I didn't have their email. I always just communicated through one of the partners. So we need to, as we're going through this database, and it's actually a faster way to kind of get to our 201, is to be like, you know what? I'm always talking to the wife, but I know the husband too, right? Or I'm always talking to the husband and I have a relationship with the husband, but I have a relationship with the wife too. Remembering when we're building our database and we're reaching out to our database, it's not about the person that we're talking to directly every time. It's who they know, right? So if I have a conversation with real estate with the wife and the husband goes to work, he doesn't necessarily tell his buddy who needs to sell his house about me because I haven't had that relationship, all right? Also, you don't know how many times I've gone down a listing appointment or a buyer's consultation where I'm talking to one person in the relationship, but the other person in the relationship is talking to another agent, right? Now I'm competing. We want to eliminate that by making sure that we have a relationship with both decision makers in the household. So go through your database, go through your phone, and look for those people where you're like, well, I know that they're married, but I don't have their spouse, or I don't have their significant other, or I don't have their partner in my phone, and add those people. Make sure those people are in your database as well. All right. As always, I'm here for any advice, anything you need to do. Day 3, this is when it starts to struggle. We can see by the numbers, 28 people kind of were on board day 1. Day 2, we were down to 11. We need to get those numbers back up. We're going to be sending out some accountability stuff. The best way for us to hold you accountable is for you to put a comment in the thing. The best way to hold yourself accountable is to subscribe and press that bell button so that you get notified every time we post a video. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Remember, 11 people by the end of the day. If you have any questions, send me an email. Talk to you later.